11:35. Well, the book would be green or blue from the Senate. So the copy I have is a blue one from the Senate. It's 11:35, honorable members, and you are aware that our appointed time, as per the notice of this meeting, was to be 11:30 a.m. 11 a.m. And in line with our standing orders, we give members up to 30 minutes. It's now exactly 11:35 a.m. We would start if we were properly constituted. I am informed that we cannot even pray. So we pray first. Okay. So can I ask the Honorable John Buddy, who has called for prayer, to pray? You know, tumetoka mahali mingi.
Let's pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the officers of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen.
Thank you, Honorable Madi, for being a senior member. Of course, we are well guided on the prayers. But I think the point I was raising is on our constitution, whether we are properly constituted. From the appointed time of 11 o'clock, 7 minutes into the allowed time of 30 minutes, we seem not to be properly constituted. As at now, I know we have apologies from Honorable Cecily Mbarire from the record. We have apologies from Senator Mithika Linturi, and another apology that I have just seen from Honorable Mutula Kilonzo Jr. and Nadama Olekina, Senator Sakaja, Senator Kibiru, Senator Kamar, Senator Nyamuga. And therefore, if you read the standing orders, and I have a copy of the Senate standing orders, coincidentally. Yes, Honorable Buddy.
Chair, this is a mediation committee of 18 members.
Yes.
9 from the National Assembly and 9 from the Senate. And Chair, you were not here last time, and we agreed to meet today, unanimously. And Chair, it is baffling or causing confusion for me to realize that out of the 9 members of National Assembly, 8 are present. Only 1 is absent. Whether it's out of the country, the bottom line is she's absent. Now for senators, out of 9, we can only manage to get 2. And Mr. Chairman, our standing orders also provide for at least some safety net for meetings to go on by asking the leadership to appoint on a temporary basis. Like last time you were not here, and Honorable Makali Mulu were not here. Both Duale and I replaced both of you on temporary basis. So I wonder why this could not happen. And you know we are on recess, Chair. We take our time to come here on a matter that we believe is of national importance, only to realize that the other house does not take this matter seriously. I look at it like we are being seen like we are idle. We are not. We just feel that this is a matter that is of national importance. We need to resolve this matter of revenue and get it off our to-do list, and to also have the counties to function. So, Chair, I'm a bit very unhappy that we can be treated to this kind of.
Yes, Honorable Junet.
First, I want to indulge you to make some clarification. First, what is the number of quorum required for this meeting to proceed? Secondly, I want you to clarify whether when somebody sends apology, whether it means he's part of the meeting, that you can proceed, but I apologize, I'm not there. But more importantly, Chair, as you can see and as my leader has alluded to, all the members of the National Assembly are here, except Honorable Mbarire, who is out of the country. And Chair, in accordance with the Constitution, it's very clear that counties Senate has no any other business in the country other than protecting the interest of counties. Now, the people were supposed to protect the interest of the counties when they disregard their duties as the Constitution outlays. The Speaker, Mr. Chair, Kenyans must know, because we have come today here. We know counties are suffering. We know counties don't have money. And we want to alleviate that problem as members of parliament. But when people who have the singular duty of protecting the interest of counties are not present, Mr. Chair, and it sends a message that tells Kenyans clearly where the problem lies now. Because as we have come all the way from our constituencies this morning, last night, purposely to attend this meeting, but senators who are duly paid for cardinal responsibility of protecting the interest of counties are not present, other than Senator Mahmood from Mandera and Senator Okongo from Nyamira. Chair, I think the senators must up their game. They have let down the counties, because today they should have been here so that we can give monies to counties, as we agreed in the last meeting that we meet on Wednesday. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Point of order, Chairman.
Omogeni.
I agree with the Vice Chair that people could be busy, people could be held up in some other emergencies. It's very true. And I agree, and he did efforts to postpone the meeting. But Chair, we need to clarify here that this date was not taken casually by phone calls. It was taken through a resolution of the committee that he chaired. That we said the next meeting is going to be on today's 29th. We resolved as a committee.
28th at 11 a.m.
Unfortunately, he was the chairman of that meeting. We resolved that on 28th we are meeting again. Actually, the chairman wanted Thursday. He said 30th, but the majority leader pushed to 29 today, 28 today. So, the only way we can postpone this meeting is through another resolution, not through phone calls here and there. But Chair, most importantly, I want to put forward to as much as we can play to the gallery, I want to put forward to the senators that this is a very important matter for the country, that no day can be lost in resolving this matter. So if we have the laxity, of postponing the meeting, and there are people who are suffering on the ground who are not being paid, then we are doing injustice to the people of this country. So I totally support what the Vice Chair said, but senators, you have failed in your responsibilities as senators of this country. Yes.
Chair.
So you did not propose a date, Honorable Junet. I was hoping that you would propose a date.
Chair, point of order. Point of order, Chair.
I propose. Now, I will also be away from 31st.
Chair, on a point of order,
I think we are. Now, you people continue.
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Kimunya.
Yes, Chair. I'm getting a bit concerned that we perhaps are continuing in two procedural matters and illegalities.
Order, Junet.
Chair, two wrongs don't make a right. The fact that Senate failed to appear does not necessarily mean we will continue perpetuating an illegality. Our standing orders are very clear. If there's no quorum, there's no meeting. So I would ask that you adjourn the meeting. We cannot even discuss in terms of another date because we are not properly constituted. And then between the two chairs, you will consult and guide us on the date of the next meeting.
I think, Honorable Kimunya, what we are trying to do is, since we are not properly constituted, we cannot even minute what we are saying. we are only trying to build consensus on a probable date that when we would all be available. Yeah? 10th and 11th. Meeting is already adjourned anyway, since there is no formal meeting. 10th and 11th. When do you resume? 11. More probable. That's okay. So I think the senators have consulted their colleagues, and 11th is said to be more probable. So the Secretariat will circulate a message for the 11th. Please, honorable members and senators, let us take this exercise with the seriousness and importance that it deserves.
Okay, Chair. Also, for the next meeting, let us, let every team try to rein in its team. Let's not be coming here and having shouty match. Shouty match. You have been shouting.
Most importantly, I want to put forward to the, as much as we can play to the gallery, I want to put forward to the senators that this is a very important matter for the country, that no day can be lost in resolving this matter.
Matter is a very serious matter. We have been given a very serious matter. It's a mediation committee, and unlike other mediation committees of other bills, this is a very serious matter because it concerns counties. And I think we have been selected by both houses because of maybe certain leadership qualities we have, because maybe our parties are felt, our houses, and we must take this matter with the seriousness it deserves.
Thank you, Chair. I also seek your guidance. Understanding order number 163 of the Senate, for us to be able to transact any business, we need at least a third of members of the Senate. And Chair, as you have clearly observed, we only have 2 members of the Senate. Despite that being a matter that raises concern of all of us, the clear legal position is that we don't have quorum to transact any business. And I want to urge my brothers and sisters from the National Assembly to appreciate that that being the legal position, Chair, we should not rant too much. We can have all the ranting like what's coming from my good friend Junet Mohammed, MP for Suna. But the fact that we don't have quorum, Chair, we are not able to transact any business, and I will seek your direction.
I will only seek, Senator Mugeni, that you use parliamentary language.
Yes, Honorable.
The word ranting cannot be parliamentary at all.
Yes. Point of order. I share the concerns. Honorable Junet Mohammed is a good friend, and he is my client from the Pangani 6, so we are good friends. So, and as you have heard him say, he was told by my mother, Jane Mora Mugeni, she's still waiting to see that Junet is able to release money to county. So, Chair, my standing is to request that you rule that this meeting does not have a quorum, and then we adjourn to a date that is agreeable to both of us, when maybe there will be enough quorum. And finally, Chair, we would not have come to this if members of the other side from the National Assembly cared for counties and allocated the money that was proposed by CRA, which was 335 billion. We are here, Chair, because members of National Assembly have ignored the figures that were proposed by CRA, which is 335 billion.
This is the number of government.
Chair, Article 215 of the Constitution.
Chair.
Senator, I think that you're getting into business.
Chair.
And being a very good senior counsel in this country, you are the one who has actually guided us.
Chair.
What is provided for in the standing order, and in a way responded to what the Honourable President was raising, that the quorum that we need is at least a third of each house. A third of the senators ought to be here, so from 9 senators we ought to have at least 3 senators and at least 3 members of from the National Assembly.
Chair, burning issue.
Do not have that number of senators.
A burning issue.
Thank you very much, Chair. You know, we are not transacting any business, and we stand guided, and the country should now know which side is there for a pedestrian populist spree of taking Kenyans for granted, because it is parliamentary. Because, Chair,
please
as Honourable
parliamentary language.
As Honourable Juneta rightly said, senators are there and their sole function is protect the counties. The counties are suffering. Staff in counties are suffering in both county assembly and county government. They ought have to be here so that they protect the interests of the counties, because that is their sole mandate. As a National Assembly, our sole mandate is to allocate funds, and that is why all of us are here. So, Honourable Chair, we cannot take the country for granted. We will have used a lot of taxpayers' money. Most of us have been facilitated to attend this meeting, Honourable Chair. And we cannot take the country for granted, because they should have, then that day that we were proposing this date on our first meeting, they will have said that they were not available, Honourable Chair. Some of them were claiming that they are in census, they were being counted. I don't know if they were enumerators or who were they, because we have seen some apologies that the census is going on. Honourable Chair, we are taking our country for a ride and for granted. And now the country should know that the National Assembly protect and respect county government, and we support devolution as National Assembly. Senate does not support devolution.
Honourable Sankok, I doubt there is any senator or member of the National Assembly who has been enlisted as an enumerator for the census.
Yes, but there is somebody who have claimed that because census is going on. Yes, we have those messages.
I have not heard that in this meeting, therefore let us leave the census to the enumerators. Honourable senators and honourable members of parliament have other responsibilities, chief of which would be to be here this morning. Honourable Dr. Makali Mulu.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I think you need to clarify what the issue of the quorum seems to be clear, but the issue of apology. When as a member of a committee you send apology, would want to hear your opinion whether doesn't that then give also a round authority to continue the meeting? Because I think that is the case then. I want to agree with my honourable members. We are all here. We came from our constituencies to come and attend this important meeting. And basically, I'm surprised to see that only 2 senators were able to attend. But my issue is, we are 8 from National Assembly, 2 from the Senate. And if this continues, if we plan the next meeting and this happens, then does it mean that we'll never sit? And this being a joint sitting then, do those also individual standing orders apply to a joint meeting? I think that clarification is important, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Makali. I think on the issue of the apology, and Honourable John Buddy, the leader of minority, did allude to it. Case example is my own case last week when I was away, and I did speak to my leader and the speaker to allow the vice chair, Honourable Moses Lesonet, to sit in for me. and Honorable Manzo to sit in for yourself, Honorable Makali Mulu. Therefore, if you are absent with an apology and you have not had anybody appointed by your house to sit in for you, then you are not physically here, and therefore we cannot transact business. And therefore, I want to agree with what Senator Omogeni said, that in line with Standing Orders 160, sub-article 3, which says that the members, I know Honorable Sankoko wants me to read from the green one, and it's the same for both houses. It says the quorum of members of the National Assembly shall be, of the Assembly who shall be present to take part in a sitting of a mediation committee shall be a third of those members, and no sitting of the committee shall be validly constituted unless there is also present a like quorum of members of the Senate. The only difference with the Senate is that it reads senators instead of members of the National Assembly, and therefore legally we are not properly constituted, and we may therefore not be able to proceed with business, but can allow the leader of majority and the...
Chair, first I want to clarify a statement before I raise my issue of today. The governor of Machakos asked for me to excuse myself, and my answer to him is that he doesn't have the powers to advise an arm of government, and neither can even advise the county assembly of Machakos, because he can't even advise the leader of majority of his county assembly. So I think in future, the governor of Machakos should be very busy with the audited accounts that will be presented to the Senate on how he has appropriated resources. That's the only time he comes to the legislative compound. Secondly, Chair, this matter is a very serious matter. We have been given a very serious matter. It's a mediation committee, and unlike other mediation committees of other bills, this is a very serious matter because it concerns counties. And I think we have been selected by both houses because of maybe certain leadership qualities we have, because maybe our parties are felt, our houses, and we must take this matter with the seriousness it deserves. And I want to give you an example. This is a joint sitting as per the standing orders, am I right? And imagine a joint sitting of both houses in the chamber happens when the president usually gives his the State of the Nation address. What happens if one house says we are not coming? The State of the Nation address will continue. The president addresses the house when a number of members of maybe one house are not there. So I think going forward, because this does not look ordinary, for two reasons. It doesn't look very ordinary. But this is, in my opinion, the Senate has boycotted. And why do I say so? One, it is incumbent again upon us, the leadership, myself and Honorable Mbandi, and I'm sure our members will agree with me, that we have to whip members. I can confirm that Honorable Mishi, you yourself, the chair, you have just arrived from Mombasa. Honorable Mishi has arrived from Mombasa. There are a number of members who I called yesterday and I told them, you must come for this meeting. You yourself, you arrived 1 hour ago. You were in Mombasa on another function. Honorable Kimonya, I have to look for him, so from Monday weekend, the message. So if our colleagues in the Senate were not available, the leadership could have appointed other people. Even Honorable Mahmoud was in Mandera. I'm sure he has just arrived this morning, our vice chair. So Chair, I think going forward, on behalf of the people of Kenya, let us take this matter very seriously so that we conclude this matter. You know, the legislature cannot play ping pong. And why I asked this meeting to take place is the court, the Supreme Court, the President of the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice has given Parliament an opportunity to do their work. And I remember he said, you have 30 days, but you can do it in 7 days. Now the clock is ticking. We started last Tuesday, which was which date? 20th. So by 20th of September, it will lapse. And we have next week and the other week, I think. So I think, Chair, let us be very serious with that. And I think our colleagues in the Senate, this is the second mediation. It should not collapse. I think we need to agree on a figure. And Chair, I want to propose on the way forward now. Our next meeting, and I did it last week, our next meeting, 5 categories of people must be called here, and we must minute it. I mean, now that we have no meeting, but we can think of next meeting that we must have the Council of Governors. We hear their view. We must have the. I'm saying in our next meeting can be proposed. A proposal. The Council of Governors must be here. The accounting officer of the national government must be here. The accounting officers of the two houses of parliament must be here. The chief registrar of the judiciary must be here, and the commission for revenue allocation must be here. So that now that we can't agree, let us see whether we can hear other voices.
Thank you, Leader. Vice Chair. Thank you very much, Chairman, and I welcome you. First of all, let me say that it is regrettable that the meeting is not taking place because our members are not available. But let me also add that by yesterday, I did start consulting the side of the National Assembly, having realized that members of Senate are not available. In all honesty. In all honesty, I did, because I didn't know you were around, I did call Honorable Duale, and for whatever reason I gave, I knew my people are not available, said, please, because members are not available, can we have this meeting next week? And I was very categorical. In fact, I knew that we're going to face this today. And there's nothing wrong when something you see unexpected, happens. Then, as human beings, you come out and discuss and see how we'll go forward. I knew by yesterday morning that membership of the Senate on this side were not available. I was not privy to their going. I was not able to consult the majority leader to be able to appoint new membership. So I did consult in all honesty. Let's be very honest that we consulted. I even said, Honorable Duale, because I didn't know the chair was available, let's have the meeting on Tuesday. He insisted that we do it tomorrow. Even tomorrow, I said it's not possible. I had a reason why I was saying that. In fact, I used even, now Sankok is talking about census. I say this because I use the word census for not being able to give you another reason. But I knew my members are not available. That has happened now. Let's not play to the gallery. We have now played to the gallery to try to show that we are acting in bad faith. Meetings do happen. Absenteeism do happen. We are very serious about mediation. We want the countries to get money. We reached here because of why we reached here, all of us know. So let us be able to now agree, because the meeting is not on. We'll be able to, I consulted frankly, and had we listened to one another, maybe we are not in where we are now, sitting together and saying there's no quorum. Let's have the meeting when the quorum is there, Chair. I think we are not going to generate a new debate on this matter, but let's be honest with one another and approach it with a good faith. And I guess it's not honest.
I think Vice Chair, just for us to be able to move forward, and I think the leader of majority, Honorable Duale, has alluded to what we need to do to move forward. I think it's also fair for us as legislators to be faithful to the letter and spirit of our own rules and procedures. There is a manner in which we adjourn meetings, how we postpone meetings, and therefore I think we just need to stick to those procedures. And indeed, I can confirm that the leader of majority called me from Ukunda yesterday. And as a chairman, I am the one who said we must proceed with the meeting as was decided by another meeting that we adjourned to this morning, which I am informed you chaired with the vice chair, and we adjourned to this morning. Therefore, procedurally, we should have appeared for this meeting. If there is reason to postpone or to adjourn, we do so procedurally. And therefore, since we do not have quorum, My only prayer and hope is that, and I'm sure the honorable senators who are not here do appreciate the weight of this issue. You've just seen in the media what is happening out in the counties. A lot of members of staff, especially in the health sector, are on strike. We have seen lives being lost in Baringo County over things like malaria. In the 21st century, we are losing Kenyans to malaria in the counties. And as much as we can say this is a devolved function, the counties could also hide behind the fact that they do not have funds. And therefore, we as members of parliament and as senators, we are obligated to at least appear for meetings. And I would only beg that the honorable senators will hold these meetings with the importance that they deserve so that we are able to resolve this issue. You know, even the courts have told us the courts cannot resolve this issue on division of revenue. It is us in parliament who must resolve this issue and get the country moving. Therefore, I want to really plead, Vice Chair, that you do liaise with the leadership in the Senate to ensure that you whip members to appear. I was hoping that in the course of all these points of order, one of them would pop in and we are able to proceed, because we are very eager ourselves from the National Assembly. And the country is very anxious, and we honestly don't need to keep the country in this anxious mood. I want to agree with the leader of majority that once we agree, after I allow Honorable Junet point of order, once we agree on when to meet next, at least we must ensure that we are all present, at least in terms of quorum. At least a third of us from either house are present. Two, in that meeting we must make that decision on whether we will need to call the National Treasury, accounting officers from the judiciary, and accounting officers from both the National Assembly and Senate. And I say that because if we are to get any additional resources, we must know where to get those resources from. Let me allow Honorable Junet, as we close, and as you propose, Honorable Junet, the date for the next meeting.